right, guys, welcome back to another episode of Drink This Book Podcast, episode 9.
It took 9 episodes, but first time ever.
We got it.
I did.
You did. I gotta give it to you.
Don't worry about what's gonna happen next time.
Oh Lord.
Don't worry about what's gonna happen next time.
Okay.
All right, guys, welcome back to Drink This Book Podcast. We are talking about Wild Seed by Octavia Butler. Yes, this is a very, very popular book. Mm-hmm. If you've never read any of Octavia Butler's books, you are missing out. Mm-hmm. Tremendously.
I did for years.
For years,
I slept on this lady, and I was like, I just need to get all that time back.
All of it.
All of it. Yeah, I need to just... I don't be wanting to be selfish when I be reading books, because I be wanting to... If I'm like an author, I be like, I'm going to read the next one.
And then I'm going to tell somebody.
Right. But then I be like, come on, let's read some other books. Give other people a chance. Be nice.
I be trying to keep stuff to myself sometimes, but then sometimes it be so good, you have to like, girl, go read it. You gotta read it right now.
Right now.
Right.
Except for that one book we
but anyway.
But to introduce you to this book, what if you didn't die nor age? What if you thought you were the only one of your kind around? Anyanwu. Thank you. Is a shapeshifter who can absorb bullets and heal with a kiss and savage anyone who threatens her. She fears no one until she meets Doro. Doro is an entity who changes bodies like he changes his clothes, killing his host by reflex or design. He fears no one until he meets Anyanwu. Mm-hmm. Now, let's get into the drink first before we get to that. Mm-hmm. So this drink is called Keep It Straight and Strong. And when we talk about things that's going on in this book, you understand why I called it Keep It Straight and Strong. So it's a very simple drink. I wanted something semi-refreshing and not too heavy, even though it is a brown liquor. But usually when you drink brown, you feel
brown on the tooth.
Yeah, it's just
brown make you clown.
Brown is more of like a relaxing type chill out drink, but I still want it to be
not for some people, for real. I know some people brown make them clown.
They turn up.
Me, it mellows me out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, clear makes me go. Yeah.
I think I just be chill in anything that I do. But so it's Crown Royal with ginger ale, and if you're making this into a single cup drink, I would advise to do a double shot of Crown. That would be your 2 ounces. You would fill 3/4 of your cup of ginger ale, and you would do a drizzle or a splash of pomegranate juice on top.
My finger up.
Yes.
How much Crown is in this?
It's not a lot. I gotta get up.
She always say that. She always say it's not a lot.
It's not. Taste it. Because I gotta get up in the morning. I gotta get up at 6 a.m. for the prayer line. No, I really do gotta get up at 6 a.m. on the prayer line. See? It's refreshing. It's not
bad.
So here's the thing. I was gonna tell you again, I need a mocktail today. I was gonna come here off the straight. I need a mocktail. I'm smelling this.
It's not bad.
It's really not.
It's really not bad.
But after the few minutes prior to this, I need a drink.
Go ahead.
You got your water too, so.
Yeah, because I'm going to drink with water. I have to. But I smell this.
You always going to smell it.
She always do this.
She always do this. Not bad.
See? You can drink this outside on a picnic.
Yeah. Family reunion type drink.
Yes. This will be a nice punch.
Yeah.
For the adults. Put some
Maybe
nice-
my crook will be out of my neck by the time.
Baby, look, baby.
Y'all know I'm sitting the way I'm sitting. You know, I'm kind of like my back toward them a little bit. It's because I can do this, but I can't do that like that.
Somebody
So,
slept
yeah.
too hard last night.
I did.
Mm.
I did.
Okay,
I
so
slept
keep it
peacefully.
straight and strong.
I'm gonna use that too, by the way. When I be having conversations with people, they want to talk to me like, "Tosh, can I talk to you?" I'm like, "Listen, you gotta keep it straight and keep it strong." I'm using it. I'm telling you, I'm gonna use it.
Yeah.
I like that. I like
This
that.
is gonna be my new summertime drink.
Invite me over. I'm coming. Okay, so let's talk about the author for a little bit. We've already kind of introduced Miss Octavia Butler, but sadly she did pass away. So Octavia Estelle Butler was an American science fiction writer, one of the best known among the few African American women in the field. She won both a Hugo and Nebula Awards in 1995. She became the first science fiction writer to receive the MacArthur Foundation Genius Grant. After her father died, Butler was raised by her widowed mother, extremely shy as a child. Octavia found an outlet at the library reading fantasy and in writing. She began writing science fiction as a teenager. She attended community college during the Black Power movement, and while participating in a local writers' workshop, was encouraged to attend the Clarion Workshop, which focused on science fiction. Butler's first work published was Crossover in 1971, Clarion Workshop and Anthology. She also sold the short story Child Finder to Harlem Ellison for, hold on, Butler's first public, we read that, Clarion Workshop, and she also sold the short story Child Finder to Harlan Ellison for the anthology, The Last Dangerous Visions. I thought I was on my way as a writer, Butler recalled in her short fiction collection Blood Child and Other Stories, which contains Crossover. In fact, I have 5 more years of rejection slips and horrible little jobs ahead of me before I sold another word.
Wow.
Yeah. Starting
Wow.
It's
That's
a
crazy.
lot about her life, but this is the only author where we can get a complete rundown of her
everything, yeah.
accolades, and
The
it's
highs and
important.
the lows.
Yeah,
The highs and the lows, yeah.
It's very important for you to know Octavia Butler's story because her beginning of
It's
how
crazy,
she
right.
started, like she's not a trained writer.
Right.
She took it upon herself to learn these things, and so that's why you have to bear with us. This is a little long-winded.
Starting in 1974, Butler worked on a series of novels that would later be collected as the Patternist series, which depicts the transformation of humanity into 3 generic groups. The dominant Patternist humans who have been bred with chains, their enemies, the Clayarchs, disease-mutated animal-like superhumans, and the mutes, ordinary humans, bonded to the Patternists. The first novel, Patternist Master, in 1976, eventually became the last installment in the series, Internal Chronology. Set in the distant future, it tells of the coming of age of Teray, a young patternist who fights for position within patternist society and eventually for the role as pattern master. Next came Mind of My Mind in 1977, a prequel to the Pattern Master set in the 20th century. The story follows the development of Mary, the creator of the sonic chain and the first patternist to bind all patternists, and her inevitably struggle for power with her father, Doro. So yeah, that's it's out of order. Yeah, we got to go back. The next story goes back.
Okay.
Yeah.
The third book of the series, Survivor, was published in 1978. The Tertullian survivor and Elena, the adopted child of the missionaries, fundamentalists, and Christians who have traveled to another planet to escape patternist control and Clayarch infection, captured by a local tribe called the Telcon. Elena learns their language and adopts their customs, knowledge which she then uses to help the missionaries avoid bondage and assimilation into a rival tribe that opposes the Telcon. Butler would later call Survivor the least favorite of her books and withdraw it from reprinting. Wow. After Survivor, Butler took a break from the pattern series to write what would become her best-selling novel, Kindred. Oh my God. It was a little short story on Hulu, but they canceled it. Boo Hulu.
Once again, Hulu. That's typical Hulu.
Right.
Sorry, but not sorry.
Kindred, as well as the short story Near of Kin. Her books and short stories drew the favorable attention of the public and awards judges. She also taught writers' workshops and eventually relocated to Washington State. Butler died of a stroke at the age of 58. Her papers are held in the research collections of the Huntington Library.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. If you've never read Kindred,
Yeah.
you want to read it.
Yes.
You want to read it.
Yes.
You
Okay.
want to read Parable of the Sword as well?
Yes.
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 I don't. Ooh, that's Parable of the Sword, Kindred.
I'm
Ooh,
torn
there- I am
between
like right
Parable
there.
of a Sword because I can never know the ending.
Right.
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 But it's a good book because I feel like that's about to happen next year. The
That
way
woman,
the-
when you read Parable of the Sword, that lady lived before her time.
Right.
Because the things that she's talking about in Parable of the Sword are
It's
things that we're
happening
seeing
right
to this
now.
very
And
day,
she
at
wrote
this
the
very
book.
moment.
And she wrote the book in 1993.
and to her to
Yeah.
describe how the cities and the neighborhoods and stuff look, and you like
And the things
it's
that's
basically
happening.
what we got
What we
now
headed
Yeah.
with walls
Yeah.
Right.
to
Y'all
try
know,
to keep people out.
We have lost 40% of our bird population,
Mm-hmm.
all due to what's going on, the environment, and they don't have any bugs to eat and everything.
Right,
Everything
right.
is just dwindling away.
How they ain't got no bugs to eat? They keep popping up on me.
Girl, stop.
Let me get a bird nest in the yard. Lord Jesus, can't step outside. Mosquitoes just be on you.
Bam. Especially when I leave out
But
my
yeah,
house.
I really don't see. We don't have that. Look, we in what in May.
Mm-hmm.
So there not that many mosquitoes out there. Do y'all see?
According to who?
Because I be out there in my garden.
See,
The mosquitoes supposed to be out there. The bees supposed to be out
they
there.
be around
And
me.
let me tell
I
you
haven't
something.
killed not one hornworm off my tomatoes this year.
Mm-mm. See, I literally have mosquito repellent wipes for when I play pickleball outside in 98-degree weather. Why? Because mosquitoes be on your girl. My baby got bit up on his neck. He took a full-blown nap outside.
Oh,
Ain't no poor on me. Should have went to bed. I mean, laid out on the little couch, just
and mosquitoes ate him up.
ate his little butt up. Ate me up. So no. Mm-mm.
All right, so we're gonna go into the synopsis. Okay, so Wild Seed is a story of two immortal Africans named Doro and Anyanwu. Doro is a spirit who can inhabit other people's bodies, killing anyone and anything in his path. While Anyanwu is a woman with healing powers who can transform herself into any human or animal. I love that about her.
Yes.
When they meet, Doro senses Anyanwu's abilities and wants to add her to one of his sea villages in the New World, where he breeds superhumans. Doro convinces Anyanwu to travel with him to America by telling her he will give her children she will never have to watch die. Although Doro plans to impregnate her himself, he also wants to share her with his son Isaac, my favorite. Isaac has very strong telekinetic powers and is one of Doro's most successful seeds. By partnering Anyanwu and Isaac together, Doro hopes to obtain children with very special abilities. Doro discovers that when Anyanwu transforms into an animal, he cannot sense her as he can all other superhumans. Feeling threatened by her shape-shifting ability, he wonders whether he holds enough control over her. Anyanwu witnesses Doro's barbaric ways and plain disregard for his people, which frightens her. When they arrive at the sea village, Doro tells Anyanwu that she is to marry Isaac and bear his children and the children of whomever else Doro chooses. Anyanwu eventually agrees, once Isaac convinces her that she could be the only one to get through to Doro.
And eventually that happened.
Yeah.
I didn't see it. I didn't think she could because he was like she said he was so barbaric.
Yeah.
He was so heartless.
Yeah.
He was very heartless.
Like, people didn't mean anything. It was like almost like a game. Like, he killed people.
It was a
game.
It was.
He not only killed to survive, but he killed for fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because when he did
throw his weight around.
Thomas,
Yeah.
That was unnecessary. And
That
that was his own
was
child.
unnecessary.
That was his seed.
Unnecessary.
So yeah, Dora was my least favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I wish she would have known
from the beginning.
When she was on that boat, when she transformed into that dolphin. I wish she would have known then that he couldn't sense her, because she said she realized his panic. When she was in the water for so long, but he had Isaac watching her and keeping an eye on her.
Right.
If she would have known then, that's why you keep an eye on her. She could have got away then. She would have just took off.
Yeah.
Right.
But he would have been it was going to be a continuous search for her anyway.
It would have, but it would have been like it was at the end of the book. She would go years.
Yeah, because I think that one time she went about 100 and some years before him finding her.
Because she would, she transferred into what was a cat or a wolf or what was it?
A wolf.
Yeah.
It was a black dog.
Yeah, on the plantation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for years he didn't know where she was at the end. So yeah.
To me, she had more power than him.
Absolutely.
She just was afraid to use it. He had her in that mental space. Like, he had her mental captive.
Yeah, he told her, I'm going to kill your kids and, and I'm going to do all of these things to you. So that's the hold he had on her.
Yeah. But she was ignorant, though.
Right.
She didn't know where her traits came from. She was in her own
little village, minding her business.
Right, exactly.
And she was the only one in her village that had those traits.
Yeah, happy. Her family was flourishing and everything, and she was minding her own business.
I just don't think if I was on Anyanwu that he would have been able to get me to leave my village. He would have had to kill me right then.
Yeah.
Because you're not. Why am I going with you? I don't know you.
Right.
But she could have shapeshifted to a bird or something and got away from him.
Right. But I'm just.
I was trying to say alligator and ate him or something.
But he would have just tried to possess her body.
Right.
Because he did it
like he kind of did.
I ain't like that. Because she said it felt like she was just falling in blackness.
And I was getting mad at her because she was like, if it's my time to go, then oh well. No!
Girl, that one made me mad when she was just spaced out. And she literally shut her body down and he broke down.
It's like, no, Anyanwu. That's when she became not my favorite character no more. I'm gonna be honest. I was like,
she wasn't mine.
I was like, I had high hopes for you, girl.
Yeah.
And this is what we're doing.
Yeah, because she had power just as well as he did.
Yeah,
right.
The strength that she had.
Ooh,
right,
baby, yes.
Right. How she. What's his son name?
Lale
Sachs. How she just.
Lale,
yeah. How she just.
Crushed him.
You're done. Yeah. You're done, my boy. Like.
But he tried her.
He tried it.
Yeah.
After his dad was like, don't go near her. Leave her alone. He said, I'm going to try it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do what I need to do. And he lost his life.
Yeah, he did. He tried.
He lost his life.
He did.
Open discussion time. So, let's start with you, Steon. How did you feel about this book?
I love this book. I absolutely love the book. The book was amazing.
How many stars?
4.3.
4.3? Okay, that's pretty good.
Okay.
The ending. I was looking for more.
Okay, so let me say this. I read this book maybe
twice.
This is my second go around with this book. And I read this book maybe 2 years ago. And for the life of me, it ended totally different from me. I don't know.
I was like, I don't remember them really being together.
But I thought they was at odds. I thought
she just left.
Well,
you told me,
because that's what
the ending you told me was not what happened. And I'm like, well, wait a minute, then what
and
happened?
I'm telling you, when I was reading this stuff, I was like, well, you wait a minute, because that is not.
That's not the ending that I remember.
That's not the ending that I had. Yeah. I was like, where'd this come from?
And I'm like, well,
because I thought Tay was like, he was looking for her, he couldn't find her.
Right, and that's how my mind ended the book.
I do. I don't know, but
sis is ghost. You
know?
So it didn't even register that it was more in the series. So I'm guessing because I didn't realize it was a series. In my head, I just ended the story.
Me too.
Right,
that's all. He ain't gonna find her. Bam, bam, boom.
Right. And so when I went back and reread it, I was like, oh yeah, this is why it's called Wild Seed. Oh, this book is really about breeding villages.
Right.
I was like, it's a slave within a slave.
Right. I was just like, well, did you check out or something? And because I'm like, damn, I don't remember that. Like, did you have one of your checkout moments or something?
Yeah,
I'm glad you went back.
Right.
I did.
So I will say this: when I read the book, 2 odd years ago or something like that, I did rate it a little higher because I thought, bam, boom, that's the ending. But this time, I got a different ending. So I'm going to rate it a 4.5. Give or take 4.5.
It was the ending.
It still was a really good book.
4.3.
Yeah, and I think that's what's messing me up because it was straight a 5 last time I read it. But now
It ended in your head.
Yeah, exactly. I put it in. I put the ending I wanted. I guess.
Yeah. I just feel like because I think what it was is the shock of it's such a great book. It's such a good read. Like the way she describes the characters, the way that she describes the scenes, you can visually see everything that she's talking about in these books.
Let me tell you something.
And so
you couldn't tell my one in the woods with Anyanwu.
That's what I'm saying. Like
I was in that garden.
Right.
I was picking up yams.
I can picture everything that was going on, and so I think the hype of first of all, it was an unassuming book when I picked it up.
Right.
I did not expect it to.
Oh yes, I remember when we first read it the first time. When they said we was reading this, I was like, "Oh my gosh!"
Shout out to our BFF Trisanya.
Yeah, because she picked this book, and I remember saying, "Oh my god, I am not going to enjoy this." But at that point, I had just gotten the book club, so I was like, "Follow the rules, read the book,
right?
Follow
just
the rules.
read
what be a rule follower.
Right, I was just like, "Follow the rules,
read what others would pick."
Right, and so I did it, and I enjoyed it. I was just like. Okay.
Yeah.
This is great.
Yeah.
I wish
this
everybody followed the rules.
Right.
Yeah. And then make up their own rules.
Because a lot of people do it these days. They just make up the rules they want.
As we go.
The judge and the jury. Or it's moving on. Okay, so what's your favorite character?
Mine's is Stephen. Or Steven, how you pronounce it?
Steven?
The son.
Okay.
Because the way
he
handled Doro,
right? That he was like a gangster.
He shut Doro down. He was like, I'm not leaving you alone in here with my mama, and she was
like, Steven, go away. No.
Yeah,
you better got arms, boy.
Right.
But he regrew his arms, so that's why he wasn't scared of Doro. I felt like he did that on purpose anyway.
Right.
Because Doro don't know how to use. See, that's the thing. When Doro takes over someone's body, he doesn't know how to use their powers.
Right.
He
absorbs it. That's
Doro didn't have any powers. The only problem was that he had the gift of not dying.
Yes.
He had the gift of not dying, and he could go in there and take somebody's body. That's
it. He didn't have nothing special about him.
And so that's why I stopped liking Anyanwu, because my girl, you have way more abilities than him. You can do more than him, and yet you letting this man control your life. He was
That's when you are your own downfall.
Right.
She was in a domestic violence, a DV relationship.
Yeah. I was like, girl.
Because what do they have in, what is it, Stockholm Syndrome?
Yeah.
That's what sis had.
Yep.
And I think it's because, he was in Africa, and so she didn't know the ways of America. So he was like, I'm going to put her somewhere
where she was unfamiliar.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Gave
her that ugly haircut. Because when they described that haircut when they first got there, I was like, I know that look like a hot bowl mess on that girl's head. And I know the humidity in Louisiana is just going to be like, the mosquitoes. Like, let me tell you something. That's why she picked Louisiana as a resting place. Cause
baby traumatized by mosquitoes.
Am I?
I mean, she brought him up twice.
I mean, several times on mosquitoes.
I done got bit on my eyelids, my lips,
Oh.
my ear. Yes! Yes!
Yeah, I would be
I done been bit through my clothes. Yes! I don't like mosquitoes.
I would be traumatized too. Okay.
Yeah.
Miss Dion, favorite characters. Go.
Isaac.
I
feel like Isaac had a pure heart.
He did.
Mm-hmm.
Even with a horrible father.
Yeah, and he loved his father in spite of. And he loved his wife in spite of. You know, and though, you know, he knew my wife was going to sleep with my daddy sometime, you know, because my daddy made her do it. Mm-hmm. And my daddy is making me allow this, you know. But he loved with a pure heart. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so he was my favorite. Because he the one went to her, and he the one.
Because if he would have wanted her, but if he would have wanted her the way he did, Doro was gonna kill her.
Yeah,
he was gonna kill her tonight.
Yeah,
but because Isaac was like, hold on, let me talk to him. Give me 5 minutes.
Yeah, because you about to mess this all up.
Yeah,
right.
Isaac saw her, was like, ding, 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 ding.
But I will say,
he formulated that plan real quick. He saw that. He was like, you going to be it right there.
Because he knew his dad.
Right. But I will say my favorite part of the book is seeing him at the end grovel because he was really in love with her. And she was ready to end it all. He was like, no, you can't.
Shut that body down. She started shutting them organs down. He was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, he didn't want her to do that.
No, he was in love with her at the end. He was like, it's just going to be me.
Because she was so... She was resistant with him the entire time, but she was silent resistant.
Right.
When a woman is fed up,
aggressiveness.
Yeah, when a woman is fed up,
that.
Like he came in, he would come to town. She'd be like, I don't care.
Whatever.
Yeah. So my favorite two, I had 2 favorite characters.
Okay.
My first one was Isaac, and we talked about him, and my second one was Louisa, because Louisa had a whole attitude, and she take no of nobody.
I did like Louisa.
Yeah. When she passed away, I was like, oh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know who I picture Louisa? Oh, we'll talk about it later. A good thing it just came to my mind. We'll talk about it later.
Okay. What did you rate it?
I'm gonna stick with the 4.5. Okay. Yeah. That ended, and I swear, it's the ending for me.
Yeah.
But then I was looking at the next book, so she has a new name. It's not Anyanwu anymore. She has
the girl name is Mary, and they in the 1970s.
Right, and so her name is Mary or Ellen Anyanwu, so she just added the American name.
She did say that at the end of
and so I'm like, do I want to go and read that one? Possibly, maybe.
We are.
Yeah.
But possibly, maybe. Because it was good, you know. But.
You know, sometimes you get lazy with them book club picks.
Right.
Wait, say that again.
Sometimes you get lazy with them book club picks when they be coming around so fast.
Yeah, look down. Look down.
I'm
not even mad at you, my girl, though. I'm not even mad at you. I'm not even mad at you. Because it was the other person's fault.
It was her fault.
It was her fault.
Oh, you talking about hold you down?
Thank you.
Exactly.
See?
Ooh, we should really talk about that one because
I need to be on somebody's couch.
That part. That's why we talk about that
book.
Pencil that in.
That's gonna be the first episode of season 2.
I need a whole couch.
Because Pencil be in for that.
It should be.
Oh my God.
No, we already have a list.
We already do have a list. We might do special episodes for certain books.
Because that book, we're not there. We're not talking about that right now.
Have y'all started the new one?
No. So let me tell you what I did.
Tell her what I told you.
So we figured, so we ready to hold you down. Totally messed us up, right? Mm-hmm. So then you come with this next book. And we were like, I feel like it's going to be like hold you down. So you know what I did? I read something light, something fluffy, something lovable, and I just finished it today. So now I can start your book. Because I know your book is about to tear me up.
It's not giving. It's
and
giving.
You have to have a book ready.
Right.
To read
and I have another book to read to get me over this book that you picked.
It's giving emotion, but it's told in a way. How can I put it? Because I'm listening to the book and he actually.
Which book gonna make me cry harder? I hope you never. May you never cry again, or this one.
I haven't read
because on Burning Man.
Yes, you did.
Yes, I did.
Burning Man.
I had all the emotions in Bernie Mac. I laughed, I cried, every emotion that you could possibly
Tell
have.
I don't know. It depends on, because the way he tells the story, like he's explaining the things that happened to his childhood and how he grew up and stuff like that. And but he's also saying, "Please don't feel sorry for me. Hold on, let me say that. Don't take it that way. I'm just telling you the background." So you can understand how
you not feel sorry for somebody when you're hearing this tragic stuff?
Right.
It is.
Right. The impact in me is like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You know?
It is. But I cried with the Richard Pryor, the Bernie Mac. I cried with those, but I did not cry with. I'm not crying.
Can I ask a favor?
What's up?
I know you're gonna pick an autobiography, but can we get some Jolliver ones? Can we get some? Because you usually pick these books.
Okay, first of all, when have you ever read an autobiography that was just all the way happy?
That's true, because you got to hear the struggles of the person, and this is how I got where I am now,
right?
Because of these things.
Because it's either going to do one or two things. It's going to make you respect that person more and understand the decisions that they made, and you look at them more as human, or you're going to just feel disgusted with them and be like.
And that has happened with one of the books we read, but I'm not even going to talk about that. That'll be a whole thing, and I don't want to do that.
Oh, we just all off topic.
We are.
That's what we do.
Okay.
We feel like home. We want you guys to feel like we cousins.
Yes.
You know?
Okay, so let's relate the book to reality. What can you take away and bring to reality with this book?
The only thing, and I mean the only thing that's I can relate to is the fact that Anyanwu's love and compassion for people and animals. Yeah, that's what I get. That's my take on all that other stuff. No. The whole spiritual flip flopping and out. No, it's just my only.
Because she started going to church at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
It's her compassion and her love for people and animals.
I think I could respect her love for culture too. Like when he brought her there, he was expecting her to just flip and become. And she was like, my culture don't say this. My culture don't do this.
The dairy.
Right.
The dairy.
Yeah, go ahead.
When she first got that first meal, what was that lady name? Elizabeth? What was her name?
Elizabeth.
It was a husband and wife
Right.
family. The white husband and wife family.
I can't remember her name, but when she
that meal, when she
had that dairy, and she was like, something. I can envision that scene. She just twisting and turning like, something ain't right.
Because she had dairy before, because I'm sure she was seeing a cow, but because of her respect for a cow, she was like, I'm not gonna take from the cow. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna eat what's grown.
Right,
you know, the juices and the berries and the
that's not in their culture.
The potatoes
drink
and things
cow's
like
milk.
that. Yeah.
Right.
It is time for our favorite part, which is, if this was a movie, who would you pick?
So the first one is Anyanwu. So I think a good person to play her would be Heather Headley. What you think?
Heather is Helen to me.
She can play other things than Helen. Okay. She's been Suge Avery on Broadway. She's done other things outside of Helen on Sweet Magnolia.
Okay.
I think. Have you saw her when she had the wild hair?
Okay.
So she can be the wild seed. Okay. Next, we got Mr. Doro. He was a lot of different characters, but overall, I got Scary Man, and she said it best.
Candyman. Tony Todd.
Rest in peace.
Tony Todd.
Rest in peace. But you still scare us all. You scared our childhood.
The bees, the burning pile. Yeah. I'm good.
Yeah. Next up, we have Mr. Isaac. He was a lot of our favorites. So,
I picked him. I picked Tom Holland. And here's why. I just feel like Isaac was such a gentleman and such a, almost like a perfect husband if you just had to pick a husband.
Yeah.
Like, he provided for her, he nurtured, he cared. he stepped into the role. He was a leader, unofficial leader in the community.
Yeah.
Everybody went to him for his problems. And I feel like the way that Tom treats Zendaya, because they're engaged. So, yes, I did pick this based off of personal aspects of things. Come on, boys. So yeah, I picked Tom Holland. I just feel like he's just so cute. Just, throw him on a little blonde wig and some blue contacts. I think he'll be perfect for this little role. A young Isaac on the ship lifting the dolphin out of the water.
Okay.
Steering the ship. Okay. Next we have Mr. Thomas. I actually like Thomas. He kind of became a character I felt bad for, but I really liked him.
I felt bad for him.
I felt really bad.
He was a pawn in Doro's game, and then when it didn't go how Doro wanted, then he just took him out,
Yeah.
So that was hurtful for me. But we did pick the actor Alfie Allen.
Yeah.
Is that the guy from Game of Thrones?
No.
No.
Alfie. Wait.
I think that's the guy from Game of Thrones. Greyjoy, right?
No. Wait. Alfie Allen. Wait, I think it is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It
So
is.
if you
I'm
would
sorry.
watch,
It is.
Yeah, so
My
if
mind
you-
went blank for 2 seconds.
right. So if you watch Game of Thrones or you're a Game of Thrones person, Greyjoy.
Yeah, that's why we picked him.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Right.
Great actor. You
Great
played that
actor.
well. You
Right.
played that role
I liked
very,
it.
very
Yeah.
well.
Next we have Mr. Steven.
Confident. I ain't scared of you, Doro.
Could grow arms out at any given moment.
I ain't
He was.
scared of you, none of you sucker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we picked
Pick.
we picked Mr. Caleb McCullen.
Yeah.
He's an up and coming
Cutie.
young black actor. He's really, really, really cool.
Yes.
Kind of weird, kind of got that weird guy vibes, but that's in right now. So
Yeah.
Next we have Nweke. Didn't like her. Not a favorite.
Nah, at all.
And
Wasn't sorry how she went out.
No, because she always hated on her mama, and her mama was just trying to protect her. But oh well.
Ain't that Jezebel's for you?
Right.
Jezebel daughters.
Right.
Because technically that's what she was, a Jezebel daughter.
Yeah. So
Just hot.
we picked actress Lovey Simone. So if you watched Greenleaf, she was the cousin, the little bad cousin, and she's also on that new Netflix show that everyone says is really good called Forever. So I hear she's annoying in there too. So let it be known she plays her roles well. Okay. Next we got Okoye. He is Anyanwu's grandson. And she meets him at the slave port. We picked the other actor from the new series Forever, Mr. Michael Copper Jr. He's so cute, and I think he would do good in that. Up and coming black actor, same, Yeah. I think he'd be good. Next we have Ndikwo. And that is Onyanwe's distant relative. Now, this is when Onyanwe had a whole lot of issues because in her culture, you don't marry your kin people.
Yeah.
That's an abomination.
That's nasty.
And so Doro didn't care though.
Yeah.
So he was like, yeah, they're gonna get married.
He did
But
not.
we picked actress Zasha Rockamore. So if you watch the Mindy Project, she was an actress on that show.
But you know what? That should have been a hint. That should have been a foreshadow to Anyanwu that Doro didn't give a care about relatives.
Right.
And then, because after they landed, he gave her to his son Isaac. Well, before they even landed.
Right.
Because they were still on the ship when that conversation went down. So, yeah.
Next we got Mr. Bernard Daly. He was Doro's right-hand man in the slave business. So, like I said, one thing that Doro did well was he surrounded himself that with people that feared him.
Yeah.
And so sometimes he had to get out of character so these people would fear him, and that was Bernard. I think he took his whole arm, let me show you how powerful I am, and let me show you how you can't beat me.
Didn't he take somebody in front of them?
Yeah, he did that too. So, yeah. He listened from then on, but we picked a Mr. James McAvoy to play him. I think he would do well. Next we got John Woodley, and that was Doro's ordinary son. He didn't really have any powers or anything. He
Regular
was just
Douglas.
Basic.
again, Doro kept him around because when Doro was a black man, so he kept him around
Most of the time.
Most of the time when he needed escorts, like he could be the slave owner and Doro could be the slave, but we all, we knew that who was in charge, So we picked Troy Baker. He's nice looking.
Yes.
And he's really nice.
He looks very authoritative.
Yeah. I would want to listen to him.
Yeah.
I would listen.
This is what I want.
Right. Next, Lale Socks. And that was Doro's just real unruly son, the first wild seed.
Now that was a wild seed. I know Doro gave the explanation of what a wild seed was. And it was basically a person born with abilities that was not born in his village.
Right.
Like they lived out in the world. They weren't in a controlled environment or experiment like his villages were. They were just wild, which is what Anyanwu was. This one acted like one.
Right. But we picked Hugh Dancy to play him.
And he got what he deserved.
He did. Because she turned into a whole panther or leopard, which whatever animal.
And tore that butt up.
She tore his throat out. Then she ate it.
Yeah. And Doro should have known. He kind of figured it out then that he couldn't sense her.
Right.
And when she turned into the dolphin, he didn't confirm.
Correct. Yeah.
Because she done had fish babies.
Right. Crazy. Next we have Mr. Joseph Toller.
Another one.
So Doro put him in Anyanwu's village to cause havoc. And he did just that.
He was on that transition late, right?
Yes. He transitioned late and he couldn't control. They say when you transition late, they really can't control
before
it.
the 20s. He was like in his 20s.
He was late.
In his 20s.
So Doro didn't expect the late transition.
And he was already in ASS before he got there.
So, he came in, caused havoc, and then died for it. So, but we picked Mr. Joseph Morgan to play him. So Joseph Morgan plays Joseph Toller.
I like that.
And last but not least, we thought another character that we should talk about and who would play her is Louisa. She was the elderly woman working for Anyanwu's family on the plantation, and she worked for her for years. We originally picked someone else, but we're going to end up going with Miss Amira Van. So if you watched Underground, she was an actress on Underground, and she also played on Queen Sugar. She was the other daughter that came later in the season. But she's very spunky, has that attitude, and I think Louisa had an attitude, and she was not afraid to tell Anyanwu what she needed to tell her.
Yeah.
So that's why we picked her.
Louisiana gave Anyanwu the vibes she needed to mature into the woman that she became at the end of the book.
Correct.
Come on, Louisiana.
Right. So yeah, I think this would be a great movie adaptation if someone picked it up. Not Hulu.
No.
Not Hulu.
I think it would be a great series. Because there's just so much that goes on. And there's so many characters. They can almost do it to where, like, each character get their own episode. Mm-hmm. It's that many characters. Mm-hmm. And then you're still telling the story chronologically from Anyanwu's perspective. I should be a writer. I know.
Right. But
because the way I just laid that out was nice.
I think Amazon Prime could pick it up. Max, HBO, y'all got the budget for it.
Yeah.
Hulu, stay away, cause you ruin things.
Netflix, y'all be iffy about the cancellation,
exactly.
And then y'all take so long to
let us know,
the next season.
So.
Cause sis still waiting on Bastard Day.
Yeah. But I would love
to
see this on film. I think it would be awesome.
I think it would be amazing.
Mm-hmm. So
Mara should do it maybe.
Yeah, she could be
Miss Mara Brock. Yeah.
Yeah, she could be a good director.
Yes.
Producer.
Or even Ryan. Cool.
She did
some
things for Forever.
Right. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go watch that because I've been hearing lots of good things about it.
Well, I don't think Ryan, because I feel like Ryan is more action stuff, and this ain't really have a lot of action in it, talking about.
No.
So yeah, I will leave this tomorrow because of the emotions and stuff that that have to be displayed, and brought out of each character, yeah, I feel like it just needs a woman's touch.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Just for me.
So yeah, thank you guys for joining us tonight.
Thank you so much.
We always have a good time, and we hope you enjoy yourself as well. You know, we have one more episode for this season, and we will be done with our first season of Drink This Book podcast. Did y'all think we was gonna be here? Like, it took us forever to get started, but now we're here. We enjoy our time together. Yeah. Sometimes we have discussions before the discussion. I'll be like, no, we got to wait. We got to say this for when we actually recording. But, again, thank you guys. If you have some book suggestions for us, let us know. You know, we read everything, right?
Yeah, we do.
We'll read historical fiction, science fiction, autobiographies. That's not my favorite, but we read them. She don't like to read smut, but
she says she hate autobiographies, but every time I done picked one, she be like, I really like this book.
It was cool. I'd be like, it was cool, you know. It was cool. And this one don't read smut. She will not read smut.
But reading a Brenda Jackson book right now. The name of it alone sounds like smut.
It's not though.
Perfect fit.
Perfect fit.
I don't know what kind of fit y'all
talking about. I got like an hour left too of it, so.
Sir sound like he got here a perfect fit for real.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but thank you guys for joining us again. We'll be back.
I don't know what you scared of smut for. That's how we all got here.
You don't want to read it. Okay.
It just makes me feel dirty.
How?
That's another conversation for another day.
That is another conversation.
But thank you guys for joining us again.
You want to be bleeped out.
This is it for episode 9. Can we do it? Whoa! Forget it at the end. Forget it at the end. Hey. We did it. We did it, Joe. Thank you guys again. Have a great rest of your night.
Peace.